Hi guys, today I want to review with you what a factor is and why you would use a factor with fractions. We're also going to talk about simplest form and multiples. So let's review by remembering what a factor is. Remember we said that a factor would be a number that is multiplied together by another number to get a product. We said that the factor is the worker of the problem. For instance, 3 times 4 equals 12. So 3 is a factor of 12 because you can multiply 3 times something to get 12. 4 is also a factor of 12 because you can multiply 4 times something to get 12. So the 3 and the 4 will be examples of factors of 12. 3 is also a factor of 9. 3 is also a factor of 15. That's all review. So when do we use factors to help us with fractions? Well, we said that you can simplify a fraction, which means putting it into its lowest form. We practiced simplifying fractions a couple of weeks ago. That's kind of where we're at right now in our math lesson. When you find the greatest common factor of both a numerator and a denominator, you can divide both the numerator and the denominator by that number, by that factor, to put a fraction into its lowest form. That's review. If you have questions about that, please email me so that I can answer those questions for you. Let's just do a quick practice of that. If I have the fraction 4/12, I can divide both my numerator and my denominator by the same number to put it into an equivalent fraction, or a fraction that's equal. If I use the greatest common factor, then I'm going to know that I'm putting 4/12 into its most simple form. So the greatest common factor of 4 and 12 would be 4. When I divide 4 by 4, I get 1. When I divide 12 by 4, I get 3. 4/12 and 1/3 are equivalent. 1/3 is the most simple form of 4/12. So let's talk about multiples. What's a multiple? Well, you can almost hear the word multiply in the word multiple. So while the factors are the workers of the problem, the multiple is the result of the factors doing their job. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 and 3 are being multiplied together. They're the factors. The result of that is 12. So that makes 12 a multiple of 4 because 12 is the result of something that 4 is multiplied by to get. 12 is also a multiple of 3. You can see it right up here. 3 times 4 equals 12. 3 and 4 are your factors, but 12 is a multiple of 3. Why? Because 12 is an answer that you can get when you multiply 3 times something. 12 is also a multiple of 4. It's a result of 4 being multiplied by something. So what are you going to be responsible for in terms of vocabulary moving forward? You're going to need to know what a factor is and what a multiple is. Multiples don't ever stop. We can get a complete list of factors. For instance, if we're using 12 and we want all the factors of 12, we talked about how we can do that. We can list all of the numbers that are multiplied together to get 12, starting with 1. 1 times 12. 2 times 6. 3 times 4. Those are all of the factors of 12. If I want to get multiples of 4, I won't ever stop. So while you can get a complete list of factors, you won't get a complete list of multiples. Why? Because you can always multiply one more time times whatever number it is that you're trying to find multiples for. Here's an example. If I'm looking for multiples of 4, I'm going to start with 1, just like I did before with factors. But this time if I'm looking for a multiple of a number, I'm going to use that number as part of the multiplication problem. So if I'm looking for the multiples of 4, I'm going to start with 1. 1 times 4 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. 3 times 4 equals 12. And you can see how there's a pattern here where we're just adding 4 to whatever the next number is. Over here, you can see that we're just going in order, 1, 2, 3, and here we're always using 4. So what we're doing is finding the multiples of 4. 4 is used as a factor. It's being multiplied by something over here. The result is multiples of 4. In one of the practice sheets that I sent home with you last week, it had you list the multiples of certain numbers. So if you weren't sure how to do that, hopefully this lesson will help you. All right, don't forget to shoot me an email if you have any questions about factors versus multiples.